Okay, how we doing out there? It's early in the morning. Yes, it's early in the morning. I have to be up. I have orders that I'm processing right now. Trying to get most of the orders out of the way, so that way I can begin the process of getting the more I get done, the less I got to do between Friday. Saturday's gonna be our ship out date. So, interested in the product? The ship out date is going to be on Friday. I'm still waiting for the rest of my containers to get here, so I'm still short about 10 containers. But yeah, our ship out date's going to be on Friday, so I'm taking some of them downstairs right now and finish them off and getting them done. There's a box pile mountain over there that's stacking up, and I got to get more tape and bubble wrap and everything else. Okay, so let's talk about the gray screen paint products. There's actually two of them, and from what I've seen from both of these products, from one, like I said, we don't usually pay that particular individual any mind, but one in there anyway to have a look at what they had in there, because this is a person who has been constantly sending me links, emailing me, sending me links, emailing me, sending me links. We got a lot of emails on my account from the other person we nicknamed Cookie Cutter. A lot of them in there, a lot. And all these emails we have from him, there's links in it where he wants me to look at his stuff. I told you, they want our approval. We don't need theirs. But anyway, after going through and looking through his page, his Facebook page, website, clearly you can see that, number one, he doesn't have any products in stock. So that's the first sign right there that he's having a problem selling his items, because there's nothing in stock. There's one item in stock, and I said we couldn't even buy anything in there to bring it down here for testing. Anything else in there wasn't even there. Number two, the black screen paint he claimed to be black wasn't even black. Didn't even match the speakers. Nothing. Didn't even match the border around the screen. Nothing at all. If you have a true 100% black screen, you throw speakers up there, they're going to blend into the speakers, blend into the border of the screen, depending on how dark the screen is. But it didn't blend any of that at all. It clearly showed a gray screen. That's one of the things we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some tutorials on Facebook, warning people about screens that are claiming to be black. And he's not the only one. There's a few companies actually. I caught a few companies doing it too. Paint on Screen has done it, because when we looked at the screen, when I contacted them, they said it was a black screen paint. When I got down here, I was like, this is not black. This is actually dark gray. I go on the website, it says deep gray. It doesn't say black. So it's either one or the other. It can't be black and it can't be gray at the same time. It's one or the other. So yeah, spot on with them too. But anyway, that's something you have to watch. When you watch demonstrations, when you're looking at a black screen, look at the border around the screen. If there's speakers, anything black in that environment, you got to compare that to the screen. Are you really looking at a black screen? That's one of the things we noticed well, two things I noticed when Crow was doing a demonstration against the Black Phoenix, that when he was painting it, it was gray when it came out. When the light, we saw it, so that's a gray screen right there. Sure enough, when he took the screen and he put it on the speakers, you can clearly see between night and day, one was gray, one was black. So right there, out of himself doing falsified demonstrations. But let's get back to what we need to talk about here about these gray screen paint products. So, as I said before, that we have to do certain testing under our screens. One of the testings we do on the screens, which is a very, very, very important test, and this is where you have to prove that your product isn't everyday paint. Because at the end of the day, the consumer needs to know what they are purchasing from you. That's very important. So that's why we have our test demonstrations on display. We do our tests live. Anytime we bring out a screen paint, all tests are done live. Everything from short throw demonstrations, long throw demonstrations, distance throw demonstrations, everything is done test. You heard me sit there when I get on camera and say that these tests are very important and they must be done live for everyone to be able to see. So we do this right from the door. I got tests for every single screen paint I've ever developed. So going back to these particular individuals, where they were requested multiple times, and I mean multiple times. One was only requested one time, to be fair. The other one was requested multiple times and has avoided at all costs to do these tests. First tests that were required was when the black screen he claimed he presented, he was asked to do a side-by-side pour out, was never done. So he couldn't prove that his screen was actually black, which we saw later on in the demonstrations. The screen paint was not proven to be black. It was actually a light gray. It was a very light gray. It was actually, the UV mix was much darker than that. Also, too, another thing we saw in that demonstration, which I'm not going to get into that, the falsified color of a UV mix, because it wasn't the proper color of what we had over here. It was a completely different color. Well, we all know what that was for, but that's a different topic. So the side-by-side next to black paint showing white levels was never done on that product. And also, too, the test for the white screen, because you're supposed to have a white screen behind the back of that to show the white levels also. That was never done. Doing tests against black paint to show that the product didn't have any black paint or wasn't resembling black paint, that test wasn't even completed. So that was a complete fail right there that we requested on his behalf that he did not do. What was the other instance? Okay, yeah, the gray screen paints. Now the gray screen paints, we went on, we had a video by this particular individual, Crows1176. The video clearly showed the individual making a black and white screen paint product. We used that particular tutorial video that was deleted from the account to go in and make several different mixes starting from 2, 3, 4, and I mean by 2, 3, 4, I'm talking about tablespoons of black paint into white paint. So each one started off with a quart, and we went in and we just measured about 2, 3, 4 different ones we put in there. One mix we call the messy mix. We didn't even measure that one. We just threw paint together. It wasn't even meant to show people at the end of the day, literally how easy it was to duplicate one of the screens. Just threw paint together, ended up matching perfectly, again, the Metallica Mix 2.0 and the personal mix. Some of the personal mix was matched on that one. And that was just throwing paint together. But by watching the tutorial video, we made several mixes, starting with 2 tablespoons up to 3, 4, 5. We did 6, 7, and the max out was 10. We were able to match every single one of the screen paints we had here that we purchased from him, including the UV, which was done on a reversal. Now, reversal means, bottom line, it says I'm starting off with a white base. They started with a black base, and they put in white tablespoons of paint. We were able to land that at 6 easily. So that automatically shows us from the door that any darker products he has, we can easily make those by just reversing it and going from 6 all the way up to about 10. And we can nail any one of those in between. Frankenstein, any one of those can be matched with no problem. So we gave him an ultimatum. We said, look, here's the deal. If we're in the demonstration, if we're wrong on this, and as I said before, we weren't trying to make the products. We're trying to see how close we could come to making a product. Unfortunately, they matched perfectly. So we have tons of videos on that, detailed video demonstrations on that. So we said, look, if we're wrong in these demonstrations, feel free to do the demonstrations for us. We posted the mixes with the ingredients. They were never done. Everything was smoke screen. Everything was smoke screen from him doing demonstrations against his own products, which is not what we asked. From everything else, just avoided it at all costs. All right. So we know he wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to come on YouTube Live. He wasn't going to post the ingredients on how they were made and then put them against his own screen. He wasn't going to do that because those paints would have matched with no problem. So keep in mind, we've already done this ourselves. I've gone in, I have on my account multiple links. See if I can get one of these links to activate, because right now my page is acting a little funny here. But we have multiple links of us making multiple dark gray products to place against. Even we have one of the screen paints we made was literally so dark gray that it was darker than the UV. It was a very dark gray. We put that against one of our gunmetals. Our gunmetals beat that screen demonstration. So we actually made these products live, showed you how these products are made, and put them against our own screen. Even painted several demonstrations of black paint. I even have one where I actually wrote my name into the screen, black fabric, you name it, we've tested. Did the green screens, did all that, everything. So we posted our tests, already done. When we requested for them to do so, they haven't done anything at all, period. Which clearly shows at the end of the day, you have bought black and white house paint because they can't back their product. Now, this is where the Digital1crystal screen paint comes in. So we figured, no, he's not going to get on live camera. He's not going to make these products one by one. He's not going to put them against his screen. So we bought back the Digital1crystal screen paint right here. Posted the ingredients because we no longer make this stuff anymore. It's old. I told you it's a 7-year-old product. We don't make it no more. We posted the ingredients. We gave it to them for free. Instead of you going out and spending $85 on a product that at the end of the day, maybe or could be house paint because the person who developed it won't do the test because they know it's going to match. Don't waste your money. Go out and make this. You can make a gallon of this for about 50 bucks. That's it. Does it match? We have the demonstrations, already did it. Painted it, matched the screen, matched a couple of the screens with no problem whatsoever. It has the same thing where you put in these it takes 6 tablespoons of black to convert this. All you got to do is just go in and just basically, it's the same thing with the other screen paints. The only difference with this has silver and glitter in it. That's the only difference. We were able to make his products with just basic black and white paint. Nothing in it at all, period. Just basic black and white paint. No glitter, no silver. We did it live on camera, made all of them, posted it. He couldn't come in back of his product not being so. So with this one, it's made the exact same way as the other mixers are. You put in 2, you put in 3, you put in 4. You adjust your black level through here. And if you want to do a reversal, it's the same thing. You put the black paint first in, you put the 6 tablespoons in, you put the silver and the glitter. That's it. That's all it is. That's how it was back then. That's how people were making them back then. That's how they were designed. So until he can back up the product of what we've requested, and we did offer to send this out to his house for free. Actually, 4 of these. There's 4 shades and the Digital1crystal screen paint. We're going to send him out a package of 4 quarts, about a gallon, ship it right to his front door. But before we can do this, we need his authorization to do so. My attorney's already advised me authorization, permission, getting an email from him. We need an official email stating that, yes, you can ship this to my front door, and we can ship it out to him. We have gotten nothing back from him. There's nothing in my account. Crow emailing us requesting for this product to be shipped to his door. So it's interesting how he'll do reviews against everything else, but when it comes to the Digital1crystal screen paint product, he's afraid of this. You know why? Because this is going to match his screen. That's why. That's why he didn't want to go near it. So he did some video, something talking about the paint or whatever it was. It's very simple. You don't need to do a video. I'm not going to sit there and watch a video of you talk about a whole bunch of nonsense. It's simple. Yes or no. Send me an email. Yes or no. That's all you got to put in there. That's it. Simple and plain. Yes, we can send the product to your front door. Then we can send it to your front door. If you decide to scream a Karen on me and go, oh, you're sending stuff to my house. No, we have an official email from you. And it has to be an email with Crow so-and-so and so, nothing fake. And then we'll ship it to your front door. If not, and you're not comfortable with that, we have the ingredients posted just about everywhere. So you can go in and copy down the ingredients. You can make it, put it against your screen and show that your product is not an everyday black and white paint, or bottom line, it's not a product that's been around for about 7 years and you're pricing it as something that just came out. So that's what we need for him to do. If not, if that's too complicated for you, how about this is even another one you can do. Easy. And I have your product here. I can go to Home Depot today, take what I have in those containers and get a match of your screen right now. But I'm giving you the opportunity to do it. So you go to Home Depot, get a match of your product, a color match of it. You take that and you paint that down the side of your screen. That's what you need to do. Now, keep in mind, they can't do any fake falsified demonstrations because we've done our own tests already. We've already done this already. We've done these already. They're done. We got the links right there. You can watch them yourself. There's bunches of them while I was doing these tests. They have to prove this to everyone else. We gave one to Partey. Partey got one too. Oh, that's why I said it's best to mind your own business. So now he's in a situation where he could lose his company because he can't back his product. That's why it doesn't pay to cut corners, not do your tests correctly, and then slam others that are doing their tests correctly and try to make them look bad to make yourself look good. Because I can easily turn around. If I'm paying you any mind, easy turn around and go, okay, you want to play that game with us? All right. I've seen test demonstrations you have done. They're very poor. Very, 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 very poor. I can tell by looking at your demonstrations on all the corners you have cut in every last one of your demonstrations by researching your company, and it's very poor. The fact that you were using an ultra short throw projector majority of most of the time in your demonstrations means you rely on a projector with a short distance throw. A long distance throw means you would have deterioration to the screen, which the screen would have problem picking up. How I noticed that? Because the ultra short throw had issues at times when it was trying to display a contrast level. It was actually displaying discoloration, and the image was fading in and out when it came to contrast levels. If you had an issue with a projector sitting that close, I couldn't imagine someone sitting farther away that had a longer distance that would lose more of a lumen count before it made contact with the screen. Also notice that you did your best to block as much ambient light in the environment, but also to try to show off your display ambient light. The condensed lighting you have in the ceiling is not going to make contact with the screen. Therefore, because when you built your theater room, you made sure your screen was tucked into a little pocket behind two pillars that would block any ambient light that would make contact with the screen from the side and from the top of those lights. I noticed that also too, because your screen sits under a lip, like a cliff. So, and the condensed lighting you have sits over top that. So it would never hit your screen to begin with. You couldn't even turn out the lights and show the light hitting your screen because it would never make contact with it. Also notice in the demonstrations that the curtains that you have them leaning a little bit over, not pushed back. That's enough to cut any ambient light that may make contact with the top part of the screen. It definitely would disrupt the picture quality right there from the door, not so much from the bottom. Also notice that your shades that you have are always either halfway, and there's always some kind of object in front of it, like a plant or something, to give off the illusion like you have light coming through, but you're actually blocking some of the light coming through. These are things I noticed in your demonstration. One of the most disappointing demonstrations I have saw when you had the screen outside. See, people don't think when you do these demonstrations. I'm a professional at this field, so I study constantly all the time. There's key things I'm looking for. If I can break down a certified screen, their demonstrations, how much more I can break yours down even faster. The screen you had on display, I'm looking at the area you have. You have all this land. Why didn't you go with a bigger screen? You could have built 150, 160. You could have put a 200-inch screen out there. If your product is as good as it's supposed to be, why didn't you max it out? Why didn't you push that performance level? You see the size of my backyard? I've had 150s back there. I got that screen does a 235.1 at 198 inches. I had 185s back there. I max out as big a screen I can get my hands on. I maxed it out. My next screen for next year is 350 inches. But I noticed that the screen size you had back there was probably about 2 feet by 3 feet or 2 feet by 4 feet. Now, let me tell you people how this one's done. And Crow is known for doing these too. What they'll do is they'll start off with a small screen outside. And what they'll do is they'll take the projector, to zoom on the projector, they'll push it all the way down to the smallest screen size. And then they'll pull the projector back to fit the screen, which was approximately 12 feet when you did it. Now, when they push the zoom down, what that does, it causes the pixels to compress, to make them tighter, to give you a more sharper and more vivid and brighter image. Even if you push it back 12 feet, this is an image that's compressed because you pushed the zoom down. So at 12 feet, when you showed your measurement for where your screen was sitting, you already had compressed pixels, and that would have gave you a sharper enough, bright enough image to be able to produce an image out there in that environment. Consider the fact also too, the size of your screen was very small and not much ambient light was making contact with the screen. If you had a screen sort of 150 inches and your projector would have to be much farther back, you have to expand your pixels, and that means more light would make contact with your screen. Now, if you had an issue inside the house with an ultra short throw, I couldn't imagine the issues you would have had outside at 150 inches at around 27 feet away from your screen. So what he did was he pushed the zoom down to give him a smaller, tighter image and pushed the projector back 12 feet to max it out to the size that would fit that particular screen size. Now, when he did another demonstration inside the house, he had a 100-inch screen and he had it back 12 feet. That already let me know from the door that you had your zoom pushed all the way down. Your screen inside the house was bigger than the screen you had outside in your yard. That's not impressive. That shows a person who has no faith in his product and will cut corners to make the product look good. So what you need to do is you need to max that screen out. You got all that yard back there. You should at least have about a 180-inch screen out there on display. Now, this particular individual, looking at his products for screen paint application, no one in their right mind is going to do it. We just posted that video up on one of the forum sites. We already got people talking, oh, heck no. And no one's going to do that. No one's going to paint a screen 4 times. I don't understand why the first time I saw you paint it on, I saw where the paint wasn't even taken to the surface. It was basically pushing through. It's kind of like trying to watch somebody paint an oil paint on freaking vinyl. It was just pushing through. And I'm like, why is it smearing like that? Why is it looking like that? And then they had to go over that application. And then they had to wait for that to dry. And they had to put it in another application. And then after you put the 3 applications on, it still was showing a spotty kind of, it wasn't taken. It's kind of like we paint screens that have a kind of protective coating and you see it push through. It was kind of reacting like that. But it's on 3 coats. Usually we have that on the first coat. We'll see it. And I said, well, you see it on the first coat, don't push it. Just put a light coating on it and go over top of it. You see me paint screens like that all the time. But the fact that it was 3 applications and it was still having that same reaction, that's not good. That means there's something in the product that's not marrying well with the whatever you have in there. And it's definitely not marrying well with the surface. That shows us a surface that's not working too well with the product. So with that being said, altogether, it was 4 applications to paint the screen. You know where that becomes a problem at? Number one, if it's 4 applications to paint the screen, that means you're going to get 4 quarts of paint to paint a 120-inch screen, up to 120-inch screen. What happens if you have to paint a 150-inch? What happens if you have to paint a 160-inch? So you're going to put 4 applications on a 160-inch. I wouldn't even put 4 applications on the door on a motorized projection screen. You're talking about a screen that's just feeding a fine, thin piece of PVC through a motor. And you're going to put 4 applications of paint on that from the door? Oh, no. That doesn't sound good to me. That really doesn't sound good. All right, so let's leave that. We were off on that topic right there. But again, like I said, 4 applications of paint. Now, you're going to have to dry the screen in between each application. But that's not going to be the headache yet. The headache is going to be how many paint rollers you're going to go through. You're going to go through 4 paint rollers to paint 1 screen. That's another thing. If not, if you have 1 paint roller, you're going to have to wash out. And if you never washed out a paint roller, buy yourself a paint roller, dip it in paint, saturate it, go wash it out. See how long it takes to get all the paint out of the paint roller. And then if you put any soap in it, you're going to have to get all that soap out of there because that residue is going to transfer to your screen. You're going to mess your screen up. So you're going to have to wash this roller out every time you apply an application. Those of you that are spraying the screen, you're going to have to clean out your paint sprayer, depending if you're using an all-in-one unit or you're just using a cup and hose. Either way, if you're going to use a hose, you're going to have to flush that hose every single time in order to change out the application. So that's going to be a headache unless you're going to have 4 paint sprayers sitting around to do it at $60 a pop, at $240 to paint a screen. You consider you're going to need 4 of those units to do it. All right, and mind you, the screen he painted in the demonstration was probably it was the same screen he used outside in the backyard. It was actually about 2 feet by 4 feet or something like that. So that's right there. Keep in mind, he just painted that small screen. Now imagine that at one of these screens over here at 135 and 106 inches, you're painting the screen with that same application that he did on a screen that was only 2 feet by 4 feet. There you go. No one's going to do that. Nobody in the right mind is going to sit there and paint that screen like that. It's not going to happen. All right. One of the requests that we gave to him, because as I'm watching the video, not only is the black screen that he claimed that's black, it's not matching the speakers and the environment, not even the frame around the screen itself, but I also noticed that the environment was dark. Boy, you got to get a meter test. You got to get meters in there, because at least at the end of the day, even though the other one does falsify his meter readings, and Crow does falsify his meter readings. We explained that before, that when you do a meter reading, there are not supposed to be any extra lights in the environment at all, period. It should be the same amount of lights that you use in the environment every single day. If that's the case, you're going to be adding extra lights in the environment, then these lights need to be included in every single demonstration that you do. You notice the screen we have downstairs where we do the living room or in any of the areas of the house. If you notice, we don't add any extra lights in there. We just use the lights we have in the environment. That's it. That's why I like the meter max out area. I love that area so much. But anyway, that's one of the things right there too. You can't do that. You have to use what lights you have in the environment. Those are the only ones that can be used in that demonstration with that meter. Because other than that, you're just hyping your levels up. People that are showing off high meter readings and have a trashy picture, that does not help. Your picture is supposed to maintain a beautiful image from corner to corner to corner. I can't stand when they zoom up on the screen. You can't even see the whole entire screen. You just see this little picture in the middle of the screen. No, you're supposed to show the entire screen, the entire environment, how the screen is being affected. Because heck, they could be zooming up on the screen and the corners could be washed out and you would never even know it because they were zoomed too close up on the screen. So you need to see the entire screen. Anytime somebody displays a contrast level, all contrast levels must be done in fully lit environments. You need to know how contrast levels are going to be affected. Black levels get affected extremely fast when it comes to well-lit environments. That's very important. If people are constantly doing demonstrations in the dark, when it comes to contrast levels, clearly at the end of the day, it just says that your screen can't see contrast levels. These are the first things we start picking up on when we start studying certified screens. If that certified screen is sitting in a certain amount of light, automatically you open the door that it's going to have an issue over here. It's not going to work too well because our screens are designed to pull up in, well, tons of ambient light. Now, the test that we gave to Partey, which I found interesting when I was watching this demonstration, that the screen paint he has matches his wall very close. It's a very close color to his wall. And I'm like, wait a minute. If he pulled that projector back just a little bit and he hit that wall, I wonder how close that would come to matching the screen. And that's why we requested from him to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and get a color match of his screen. Now, keep in mind, we know his screen paint takes 4 applications. Him and Crow's product aren't too far apart. They're not. We could duplicate his very easily. So they're not too far apart. The same ingredients we use, how we made Crow's, we can make his easily with no problem. I don't know why you would have a 4-screen application. The only reason why I would think you would have that, because you would have to have something that would separate yourself from Crow's product. Crow comes on, he paints 1 application. Your product is not too far from his. You would have to have something different, like a 4-screen application. This is how it has to be done in order to get this image. That's a gimmick. I'm sorry, but that's a gimmick. The only one who actually did that, and you actually literally had to do it, was Goose Screen, because Goose Screens was different. Goose Screen had a primer. They had an actual screen paint, and then they had a protective coating. There you go. He doesn't have I don't know if that's a primer. If that's a primer, it did a pretty poor job of coating that surface. But if you put primer on something and it's a really good primer, that stuff will cover anything. I mean, literally anything. Like bullseye will cover anything. So the fact that that product smeared like that, that's not primer. So that wasn't it at all, period. That's the first thing that popped up also too. So I don't know what that was all about, but in the end, you ended up painting it a screen color that didn't even match the other 3 that were painted on it to begin with. So why don't you just start off with the first one and be done instead of actually adding 3 applications to begin with? I don't even understand that from the door. So at the end of the day, if somebody wanted to do you dirty, all they would have to do is buy your product, take that first application, go down to Home Depot and say, hey, look, I want you to make this for me right here. And I want you to add in color to blocker protection, 1 coat application. They could put the primer, all that stuff right into that 1 single coat that you had. Go and paint your screen in, match it to your screen, and do it with 1 coat instead of doing with the 4 you did in your demonstration. Your product is going that fast. That quick is obsolete that fast. I can do that right now. I can buy your product right now and do that right now. But like I said, you mind your own business. You stay to yourself. You know, you're good. Leave us alone. We leave you alone. That's how it works. But you keep running your mouth. Yeah, I'll do that. And nobody will touch your stuff. This will beat your screen easily with no problem. And I can make a black version, a dark version of the one you had that would match your product with no problem. Post the ingredients. And then you'll have to do a YouTube demonstration showing that your product doesn't match this 7-year-old product. And this product right here, mind the way, Partey, has more weight underneath of it than your product combined. You go check out the history on this technology right here. Or not technology, it's paint. It was paint. You check it out. We have beta testers, contracts, tons of videos, more videos than you ever had on this one product alone. It would outperform your product easily. So who are people going to trust? And mind you, this is a one coat application. You don't got to put 4 coats on to paint the screen with this. 1 coat and you're done. That's it. That alone right there is a high selling point. And they can make it at $50 a gallon, where yours is $160 for, I don't know, you getting what? You have to be getting a gallon out of it. If it takes 4 applications, you only need about 4 quarts to paint the screen. So yeah, that doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, so yeah, so we told him that, you know, this is what we need you to do, because looking at that screen, and I'm looking at his wall, like, look, they're not that far apart. They look exactly the same. His wall and his screen literally look like the same screen. And I'm like, can you pull that projector back just a little bit so we can see the wall and the screen at the same time? I would love to see that. He ain't gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. The fact that we requested and they're not gonna do it clearly shows that what he has on that wall can basically match his screen with no problem. You won't see a difference. So we requested for him to take his product to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a color match of the first coat. Not the first one. I'm sorry, the last coat. Not the first, not the second. The last coat that you applied to that screen, the finisher. We asked for a color match, and we need you to paint that next to your screen that has the 4 coats on it to see if they match. Now, if they don't do that at the end of the day, well, here you go. Here's your solution right here. Digital1crystal screen paint right there. It does the exact same thing that their products does with no problem at all. The only difference with this is the fact that at the end of the day, you're not paying $85, you're not paying $160. You're getting this at $50, and the ingredients is posted. It's going to cost $50 probably to make it. You're going to make a gallon of it. It's probably cost less than that. I mean, pretty much if you go get some Sherwin-Williams, that's about $17 or $20 a gallon. And you're not going to need a lot of paint, so I wouldn't even bother buying a quart. Just get one of those samplers, because you're only going to need about 6 tablespoons to put into that. As for silver, you don't need to buy the $17 quart of PPG. Just get a sampler. That's all you got to do is just buy the sampler. Samplers are cheap, like $7, $8. That's basically about it. And then you just go pop over to Lowe's and get some of that glitter they got over there. And you put a couple of small, like 1/4 of a teaspoon in that. And voila, you're done. That's it. As for the black paint, all the black paint is adjusted on how dark you want it. Now, judging by what we got at a Crows mixture, if you put 2 in there, you got this really light mix, which we did downstairs. It was really nice, nice, good contrast levels on. And then you have you put 4 in there, that matches the personal mix. You put 10 in there, that matches the Metallica mix. Anything from in there is going to match whatever pops up on that screen. Between 10 and there, you're going to be able to match up with no problem whatsoever. And then when I showed you the demonstration yesterday, we just threw paint together. The mess, we call it the messy mix, or it was something called the Messy Mix 3.0. We just threw stuff together. And that was for people that at the end of the day, if they feel that, oh, I don't want to make this, I might mess my screen up, you could throw anything in there and you would still land the screen, which I just showed you in the demonstration. We just threw anything. I'm going to throw this and that and mix this. Still landed it, but no problem. Ain't no way you can mess it up. It's black and white paint at the end of the day. Now, for the individual who may want to argue and say it's not true, well, with Partey, he doesn't have a video floating around with him making his product. He does not have. But from what I've seen from the screen color and the screen color he has on his wall, they are very close together, too close together. Which at the end of the day, I would love to see him pull back that projector and show us side by side next to that screen and the one he has on the wall. And also, too, go to Home Depot and do that color match of the first finished coat, not the 1, 2, and 3, the first one. Because like I said, at the end of the day, somebody will go buy your product. They'll take out that, they'll skip the rest of them. They'll take that first finished coat out of that container, out of the whatchamacallit. They'll pop over to Home Depot and says, look, I need you to make an exact color of this one right here. But this one I want you to put in 1 coat, but they put in for the primer and all that stuff. Put all that in there, make an exterior and all that stuff. They'll take it back and they'll do a demonstration showing your product, painting all 4 of them in, and then they'll take that one, go boop, 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 boop. Look, that's all I had to do. They match perfectly. You're done. That's it. Your website's shut down that fast. This is what happens when you don't do tests. This is what happens when you cut corners. This is the results which you get. This is why when people see us out there doing these demonstrations on these massive giant screens, this has to be done. I can't be in the backyard with some tiny little screen and a freaking $5,000 venue projector saying, or 5,000 lumen projector saying, look at, no, I have to have it on a massive scale because I have companies that are going to come in and they have to see that on a large scale. We got screens that we've submerged underwater. We got screens which we froze and broke up out of ice. We got all kinds of demonstrations we've done. Even when I develop a product, if I would develop a product right now, the first thing you would see is me come out of the basement, paint the screen down, showing you how fast it takes to paint the screen, dry it right there on camera for everybody to see, do the demonstrations with blues, greens, reds, yellows, snow levels, the whole 9 yards, 5 certifies right from the door. Right from the door, 5 certifies. Then switch it over to white levels. We got white paper, white certified screens. We got that acoustic, something with to 0.9, right from the door, right on camera. And then go in there and swap the projector out. Or we drop from 5,000 and switch it over to 1,000 lumens. I did one demonstration. We knocked out all the tests in one hit. Y'all don't do those demonstrations. Y'all don't do those tests. There's no way in the world. I can tell by looking at your products will never pass an 18 screen certified. It won't be to do it. Those screens will beat your screen with no problem. You couldn't do it. That's why they don't have them. That ultra short though you have there, how many certified screens did you test against that ultra short though setup? We got all 5 of them in. We got all 4 of Elite Screens top ultra short things, ceiling and light rejection screens. We got every last one of them down here. And we were able to basically beat all 4 of those screens, even at a 190-degree viewing angle display. You haven't done it. And I did it on a $60 projector at that. Where's those tests at? Nowhere to be found. Like I said, you're better off just minding your own business. If you mind your own business, man, I'd have never gave you those challenges. My challenges are brutal, and our screens can do it with no problem whatsoever. And I could throw you the links to match every single one of them. But now they got the work cut out for them. So until then, people, now keep in mind, at the end of the day, as I said before, this product right here, we've already done the demonstrations against this product. I don't want people coming on to copying down the ingredients, thinking that this right here is going to give you the same thing we get from our darker technologies, which we had downstairs. No, it's not going to match any of that at all whatsoever. But at least at the end of the day, if you do have to go down this route, if this is something that is for you, then at the end of the day, it's not going to cost you $85 because the 2 individuals can't back their product as in being not house paint. They can't back it. And because they can't back it, why should you buy it? Why waste $85? Christmas time is coming around, people. Thanksgiving, holidays are coming around. Money's tight for some people. You're going to waste $85 on something that you could have literally made a gallon of it. And you can continue to keep making it because we gave you the ingredients on how to make it. You can make as much as you want. And we showed you how to basically darken the shades by going in and making his product from his tutorial video, not ours. We used his video to make the multiple shades. Same thing you apply here. You want a little darker, you put in 2, you put in 4. That's how you do it. That's it. So we gave him the opportunity to review the product. We never got a response back from him. He did some video. I'm not watching that crap. Simple. Send me an email, yes or no. That's all we need. Never got it. All right, if you're not comfortable with that, we have the ingredients posted. You can copy it from there. And this also, too, by posting the ingredients, this keeps them from going in and tampering with the product, messing with it, trying to make it something that it's not. You can't do that because everybody has the ingredients, too. So, okay, from there. So we're going to post it again at the bottom of this video for you. All right, so you all can have it because they should have done these tests a long time ago. The tests we saw on the Crow, oh man, those are some of the worst tests I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anybody cheat on tests that bad. I think, like I said, the worst, I can't even, I'm thinking about the worst one I've ever saw. It would have to be that one he did with the P3. That one right there was pretty bad. You're talking about a $3,000 to $4,000 projector. We're talking about a high-end projector. And that thing struggled at a distance throw of 2 feet and 2 inches. At 3,000 lumens to produce a proper image on the screen paints that he displayed. Every last one of those faded out so badly. I don't even know how you didn't see this. He was so zoned in on trying to, it's funny how people will be so zoned in to try to destroy something that they end up destroying themselves. And he was so zoned in on trying to get people to look at the Phoenix 19 that he didn't realize that his screen was so badly washed out on such a high and expensive projector. And at that, the projector was sitting right up on top of the screen. When I was looking at it, I thought it was the 720p Epson. That's what I thought it was. At a distance throw and all that light, I thought, okay, that's going to happen. On them gray screen paints, that's definitely going to happen. But when he leaned over and I saw that the P2 was actually activated, I was like, shoot, that projector's on? That's a P2 displaying that? Oh, yes, that should never look like that. If you watch any of the demonstrations under the P2, tell me if any of them look like in that demonstration. You would have never purchased that projector. Like, what the freak is that? No, you wouldn't have bought that kind of projector for that if it displayed that. So that was one of the problems. So you kind of messed up pretty badly in that demonstration because, like I said, the 19 that when you displayed it, you put it right on top of the speakers. Clearly, even in our forum sites are looking at it and they're laughing their heads off because you can clearly see, well, one screen is gray, the screen's gray, and the speakers are black, not even matching at all. I can take my sound bar and I can throw it against one of my screens and it blends into one of my screens easily. So that's one of the first signs we picked up on, that whole dark product, whatever he was making over there. You'd have been better off if you had just put black paint and started it off from there. My goodness. But anyway, yeah, that was a really bad demonstration. And the worst thing about it is the fact that, mind you, this is a projector that's set up for a kind of TV display. That's what they're designed for. So you can have that big screen movie experience. You have the projector sitting up close. It's convenient. It's compact. You don't have the big boy projectors behind you and the cables and wires and all that stuff. You know, this is something that's like a TV top projection screen. That's what they're sold as. You can put this in your living room and treat your living room the same way. You have to darken your windows, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose of it. You know, you can have that whole TV-like experience with a projector, with a giant screen, without it costing you a ton of money. But what's the point of having that if you have a projector that's sitting 2 feet and 2 inches at 3,000 lumens and the screen is completely washed out? The only way that he can improve the picture quality, if you notice in the demonstration, the environment had to be transformed into a dark environment. Because the minute he shut the blinds in the back and the minute he darkened the environment, the picture quality improved. Which shows you at the end of the day, your living room is going to turn into a cave. There you go. You're not using that in a fully lit environment. I can come downstairs and my projector sits 18 feet from my screen. And I can sit down and drink a cup of coffee and I can watch Leave It to Beaver while the sun peeks through my windows. That's what you're supposed to have. So we're not going to go on and on about this because I don't want to get too long into this. I got things to do. I got orders downstairs that are stacking up. What we're going to do here is we're going to get these ingredients posted here for you. Those of you who own the product, since he does not want to do the testing, he should have been had them done. The fact that we're still talking about this is the fact he should have been had those tests done. Ben had them done. He should have had them done before when the video popped up. He should have had them done. Definitely should have did that before that. He should have had them done before anybody requested it. He should have done that. He should have done that from the door, thinking that when you design paint, you have to think that at any given time, someone's going to try to duplicate or make your stuff. And you have to make sure that you show test demonstrations that does not put you in the same category as everybody else. And you have to make sure that you do the tests that nobody else will do. That's why our tests are so brutal. In this room right here, I have a ledge sitting outside here, right here. This is where we had the Japanese tea room here. I had an 80-inch screen over here. I'll put the link below so you can check it out. I took a 1,000 lumen projector. I stuck it outside on that ledge. We called it the sunbather, projection sunbather, because that projector was sitting out there on a ledge outside my window as sunlight was cascading on top of this projector, killing the lumen count before it even started from the door. So it sat out there on that ledge at 1,000 lumens. It had to transfer through 2 plates of glass, travel 13 feet and make contact with my screen in the next room and display an image against 2 certified screens and pass. And I did that live. There you go. That shows you how we do things and how they do things. They're afraid to challenge their products. And if you're afraid to challenge your products and you're going to put it in a comfortable zone, a comfortable environment, it's not going to do well when it gets down here because we're going to beat the living crap out of it. Because if I do that to my screens, I'm definitely doing it to yours. All right, let me go over here and get this right here real quick. So this is what you guys have. So at the end of the day, love me or hate me, whatever it is, here you go. Enjoy. People say, oh, you're doing that. No, I'm not doing that to destroy him. I'm doing that for the simple fact he should have had these tests done a long time ago. They should have been done a long time ago. I'm surprised no one has ever asked him what's the difference between your product and bare silver screen. And when I saw the test on the bare silver screen, that was a huge red flag that popped up like, bing, like, what the freak? You mean to tell me that screen came that close to matching it? All he had to do was just drop in 2 or 3 tablespoons of black paint. It'd have blended his screen perfectly. The only reason why his screen showed a slight little bump, and I'm not talking about a massive difference between night and day, a slight little bump is due to the fact that the bare silver screen, if you ever had this stuff before, when you pop open the top, it looks like white paint. It's actually a very light gray paint. It's not even silver. So if he had a product in there that had a couple of teaspoons of black paint compared to that bare silver screen, of course he would have been able to pick up a slightly higher red or a slightly higher blue or a little bit slightly higher black level, because it was black paint in his product that was allowing the screen to react that way. But he comes out flowing out of Home Depot like do. Come on now, are you kidding me? When you did that demonstration, what you should have did was you should have put the bare silver screen. You should have made one by itself and made another one with maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons of black paint. Now, we offered him to do that demonstration again. Was it ever done again? Nope. Because if he had dropped any black paint, it would have matched his product. We did it with just basic white paint. And for those of you who are asking about the paint base, you don't have to have bare silver screen. We did it with cheap Sherwin-Williams $17 paint. And this paint didn't even have a primer in it. And that's what we used. All right, let's see what's going on with this all together over here. So at the end of the day, like I said, you got 2 choices. You can drop $85 for that stuff, which he hasn't even. If he goes in and he does that test, so he goes up there and he takes all those different paints like we have, and he does that paint on demonstration, and say his product blows out all those products between night and day. I'm not talking about a bump. I'm talking about the difference between a white and black screen. If you look at a white and black screen, you can tell they're 2 different screens. I'm talking about that kind of huge difference. If he does that, then hey, go out and buy his products. Go out and buy them. I wouldn't say not to. If he can display that, go buy it. Excuse me about that. Go buy it, no problem. Because if I can take a $5,000 projection screen and stick that in the middle of a screen that's green, and show a better gray level, I mean a huge, massive difference. You can see the screens don't even change colors next to our screens. They maintain a little slight difference, but they don't maintain that bright, vivid image that our screens can do. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to show a huge difference. But other than that, if he's not displaying that, if neither one of them are displaying it, why are you putting money over there to begin with? At the end of the day, you can make it for a lot cheaper. You can do the same thing. And for those of you who already have this products, how about you do that experiment yourself? Go make the products. We're going to put the ingredients down there, make the products, and put it against your screen or put a little sample up there and see how close they come in. There's your wake-up call right there. I think we can close. Let me go for a minute. I'm gonna come back in. But yeah, there's your wake-up call right there. I think my media, I have a what you would call playing in the background. I think that froze. I gotta clean my PC, get to working on that thing. But yeah, they got to do those tests. You got to see them, because at the end of the day, if we're making a black screen paint, right? Making a black screen paint like that over there, black screen paint. It is going to cross your mind to question me, is it not? To say, hey, Mr. Bird, how do I know the screen you have over there is not black paint? How do I know that I can't do the same thing with black vinyl? Or, you know, I'm looking at a black projection screen. If I turn that around and take the black side of it, I can do the same thing you're doing. How about black fabric? Any one of those things. I guarantee you I can do the same thing your product can do. That is going to cross your mind when you're looking at a black screen. And then you're going to find out when you see our demonstrations, that's why you see me come out there saying, look, here's black fabric. Here's a black hoodie. We even threw a black t-shirt up there. We did black paint versus our screen. We painted on screens. We did all kinds of stuff. We even made other black dark products against the screen. Now, when you watch that demonstration, then people start questioning, go, well, maybe it's the projector you're using. You have a 5,000 lumen projector in the demonstration. Keep in mind that when you make that statement at a 5,000 lumen projector, it's like when I turn my projector on, that it's saying, you know what, we're just going to skip those other screens and we're just going to hit his screen only. It doesn't work that way. All the screens are being hit with 5,000 lumens. But just to make sure that we prove our point, we go downstairs and we get the 1,000 lumen projector. That now is hitting a black screen at 14 feet back, which now it has less of a lumen count, which means the screen being as dark as it is, it's going to have to be able to maintain and push a higher white level at 1,000 lumens. And keep in mind, if you have 1,000 lumens and you're in an environment that's pulling 16 from the door and lux, even 8 from the door, You're not starting off with 1,000. You'll start off with 1,000. You will not end with 1,000. You'll end with much less than that, depending on the distance and how much light you have in the environment. So whatever makes it across to that 14 feet and hits that screen's going to have to take whatever's left and generate a high enough white level to be able to outperform the surfaces that are laying against it that are black. There you go. There you go. Now it gets complicated. That's why we get contracts, because we can back it up. Because I get that all the time when I get to a contract. It pops up. You got about what, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 for a startup point of basically of samples. You think someone's going to drop that serious kind of money in your account without it ever popping up in the conversation? It's going to pop up in the conversation. Trust me. It's going to pop up. Well, how do we know that's not black paint? How do we know? We could do the same thing. You got any tests? Can you show us something that shows us that's going to ensure us before we give you this money, before we sign this contract, that we are actually getting what we're supposed to be getting? How do we know? I've had the gray screen too. Matter of fact, Crow is the one who started the gray screen nonsense, and he's doing the gray screen. Oh, that screen can't be black. It has to be gray. That's why the white levels are so high. That's what we do. We do pour outs now. Pour it out one side and say, look, see, they're both black. But yet he's doing the gray screens. But anyway, so yeah, it comes up quite a bit. Actually, I had one come up a couple of days ago on our screens, and because we did the demonstrations, because we did the test, we go, here you go. There you go. Which one you want? How many you want? We got one here. We got 1,000 lumens. We did that one, this one. We painted one onto the screen. What do you want? At the end of the day, I got $6-7 grand in my banking account already, in a contract about to be signed, because we can prove that our product is not what they thought our product was. But if I go into one of these guys and say, hey, look, we need you to do a paint on test demonstration. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. They come on and they attack us. Why would you attack me? How is that helping you out by attacking me? That doesn't help you at all. It just shows at the end of the day that you can't back your product. That's what it shows. That's why it doesn't bother me when they do those memes and stuff. That don't bother me. At the end of the day, it shows that you can't back your product, and that puts a smile on my face. That doesn't hurt me. Now, if you came out there and say this person came out there and did the demonstration and he backed his product up, oh, then now you're doing some damage to me. Now you threw it in my face and showed me that I was wrong. Got to respect you for that. Might not like it, but I got to respect you for it. But if your response back is to do little memes and stuff like that, that doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, I've been in this business for over 12 years. I done seen everything under the book. So that's not going to bother me at all. Come on now, it's business. It's how you handle yourself in business. Either you handle yourself professionally or you handle yourself like a child. And when people do stuff like that, they're kids. That's how I see you as. That's why we have no respect for you. That's why we don't take anything you do seriously. That's why we ignore you. So when you respond like that, that automatically tells me from the door. In the business mind, it's like I said, it's all about strategy in business. So if a person reacts that way, it automatically tells me from the door that their product doesn't work at all, and we can crush them just like that. You just show me that you have a chink in your armor, and I can pretty much penetrate it with no problem whatsoever, and it won't stand. So automatically from the door, your response coming back that way, automatically let me know that your product, I can make your product right now. If your product was in stock, I'll just buy every last one of them. Just take the first coat, take it down to Home Depot, and just make a copy of every last one of them, and then make your original screen, and then paint over with the other one and match your screen. And that's it. Products are gone. Because you got no way to back it up, because you can't. But I'm not interested in that at all, period. You mind your own business, you can make your money, but until then, because you basically decided to tangle with my company, I gave you one of those challenges, which you should have mind your own business. Now the challenge he's going to have to go through, Partey is going to have to take his product down to Home Depot and Lowe's and get a match of his product of the last coat that he applied to that screen. We don't want the first, we don't want the second, third, we want the last coat done. And we want them to match that against the screen to show that there's a difference. So we're going to post in here real quick. You're like, you're giving these guys impossible tasks. Not an impossible task. It's a task you should have done a long time ago. Now, keep in mind, you know, when you're talking about 7 years ago when they were making this stuff, nobody asked that. And the only thing people cared about then was basically how much time it took to paint to a wall, what surfaces you could paint it to. We didn't care about projectors or people using Picos. They were using some of those Chinese knockoff projectors, not the ones we have now. Those are garbage. The ones we had at that particular time were much better. They were much, much better. And they actually freaking worked. But the ones we have now, and you can't say Chinese projectors because not all of them come from China. Not all of them. People have to understand when people say that, oh, but it came from China. It could be manufactured. The parts could be manufactured in China. Heck, most of the majority of the stuff you have in your house is manufactured someplace else. It's cheaper. If you look at the business part of it all, I mean, it's wrong at the end of the day because, like I said, it's better if we made our own products within the United States, which should be much better. You know what I mean? But they source it overseas because it's much cheaper because of the labor and all that stuff like that over there. It's much cheaper to make those parts overseas. But if you run into an incident like COVID, where the city, everything gets shut down, like in the video, if you want to go on in about that, actually I have stock in the video. But anyway, and that's a good choice if you think about a stock option, secret, you might go over in the video. But anyway, so just let you know, put it out there. But anyway, so yeah, when you're outsourcing, what happens if you have something like this happen? Like you have a global virus that comes across and hits everything. Those particular companies over there, you don't know what they're going to be going through. They could be hit harder than us, and they could have to shut down their companies. And if they shut down their companies, there's your resources are gone, which means now the price of it starts to jump right through the roof because it's a hard item to get. Mind you, this is something that when you have something like this, you're talking about workers. Mind you, how hard it is. But this is why jobs are so easy to get now, because at one point you couldn't even get a job for jack. Now you could quit your job and get a job the next day easily. Amazon is hiring like crazy. So what it is that the fact that, if you have a company and say you got like 20 people on the floor, one person comes in, God forbid, if they're sick and they get quarantined, you got to get rid of the other because you don't know if they have either because you want them to spread it to the rest of the group. So you just lost 20 people at the end of the day. And that's right there. Those 20 people could be running your company or a majority of your company if it's not big enough. You could just have those. So now you got to bring in a whole new workforce to be able to temporarily have them in there for the time being until the other ones can come back. That's why there's jobs like crazy, because someone's always getting sick and someone's always being replaced or something's happening, their area has to be cleaned up and this, that, and the other. That's why. But when you do this, these companies will outsource overseas, and they've been talking about that. Outsourcing has been going on for years. Past the 80s, been going on for quite a long time. That's why a lot of the old factories you have in different areas, people, you live in areas that had old factories that would run this and run that, you know what I mean? They're drying up because these big companies are taking their business, they're taking it overseas because it's a lot cheaper to manufacture the parts. Now, they may manufacture them here. They could make them here. They can make the item here. Like Dell has a couple of stations where they make their computers here, but their parts are resourced somewhere else because it's a lot cheaper. So, yeah, you run into that freaking nightmare, too. But I think COVID was a wake-up call for a lot of companies because, if I'm designing my screen paint products and say majority of my products, now I have some products that are manufactured. They're not manufactured. We get them from overseas. But we do make sure that we do have products that we can have manufactured here in the U.S. The smart thing is when you make a product, you make sure you have more than one outsource to make it. If you don't have that, that's what happened to the 8. That's why the 8 disappeared. The 8 disappeared because the items that made the 8, we couldn't get them. We had to obsolete it. That's what happened to the 8. Couldn't make it anymore. So you live and learn from your experience. But that's what happens. They get outsourced. And people say, oh, the Chinese projectors are made. No. I bought these projectors from California a few times. You know what I mean? So, yeah, here we go. Look. There's a whatchamacallit. There's another crow hater. The Crow boys. Go somewhere with that nonsense. No, we got time for that. We're moving on. That's yeah. When we get people that come in there that say nasty stuff like that, that's Crow. That's him upset, or one of his which are upset. Because at the end of the day, keep in mind these are people who have paid for this product, and at the end of the day, the person who developed the product can't back it up. And if they can't back up the product, that means you just paid $85, or before he was doing the free shipping, $107 for a product that you could have made yourself, and that's gotta hurt. So I can see why it doesn't bother me. Keep in mind, when you guys come in here acting this way, it doesn't bother me at all when you act like this. It just shows that you're immature. That's what you are. You're a grown man or grown woman on a computer. I don't know, maybe you had kids or not, that are typing insults like this, and it doesn't make you look good. Now, if I respond back by calling you a mother this, mother that, that makes me look bad. But that's what you're hoping. You're hoping I will respond back that way. That's what you're hoping, but that's not going to happen, buddy. I'm a little smarter than that. So I let you say your insults, and then I block, and that's the end of it from there. And it just shows how ignorant you are at the end of the day. And it also shows that maybe you are a customer of his who has that product and you're upset because we outed him. But who are you even more with? Are you mad with me because he's exposed? Are you mad at yourself because you got duped into it? Or are you mad at him because he got over on you? Which one is it? Either way, when you express yourself this way, it clearly shows to me that, yeah, it's all three. That's what you tell me when you react that way. So no, it doesn't bother me at all. Not one bit. When you act that way, it just shows me what kind of person you are at the end of the day. I feel sorry that you got your money taken. If you want, like I said, feel free to make this and be happy. But that doesn't bother me at all. They send those insults in because you think at the end of the day that embarrasses me. If that embarrassed me, I wouldn't be doing stream. I wouldn't be coming on here doing stream if it embarrassed me. No, it don't bother me at all, period. That's the difference between you. I'm an adult. Stuff like that doesn't bother me. It rolls off my back like wood on a duck. When you're a teenager and you're young, you're basically immature, insults like that get the best of you. But for me, it just shows that a person's insecure when they act that way. Now, if I react the same way they react, it means I'm insecure too, doesn't it? So you have to learn to keep your cool and just look at it and go, interesting. All right, so let's get into this so we can get these links to you guys so you can go and make this stuff. So at least like at the end of the day, at least you don't have to spend your money on it. And if he could, and if I'm wrong, like I said, if I'm wrong on this, all he has to do is just accept the many offers we have given. We gave him the product to review. He loves to review stuff, right? It's right here. We can set it right to your front door. I can send you 4 of these with 4 different shades that you can put against your product. He won't do it. If you're uncomfortable with us shipping something to your front door, we got the ingredients posted. I'm about to post it right now. You can copy it from there. If not, go pop over to Home Depot, go get all your products matched, color matched, and do a demonstration from there. Now, we're still talking about this because it hasn't been done yet. And the fact that it's taking this long, well, it just tells you at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's what you got. You have house paint on your wall. Expensive house paint. Heck, you could have went and got Bullseye Primer and did the exact same thing. You know that? Bullseye Primer. Every time you walk through Home Depot, boy, it's got to tick y'all off. It would tick me off. If I'm looking at black and white paint, I'm thinking, gee, this is what I pay for on my wall is black and white paint. I don't even know how you can even enjoy watching a movie. How can you enjoy watching a movie or sports or anything when you're staring at a screen that literally you could have made yourself? That's like buying your dream car and finding out it's 11. Every time you go to turn that thing on, you got to hear the engine clicking and knocking and everything. Constant reminder that you got duped. Every time you go in your room, your house, and you look at that screen, you got duped. So let's go over here just for you real quick. Let me see. We need for you guys. Let me see. We don't need this right here. We're good on that. We don't need that. We need to go in and we need to get another one of these so we can set this up for you. I'm going to right now set you guys up so we can get you your ingredients so you're good to go. Now, for those of you that are upset by this, I would suggest you go out and make the product and put it against your screen. Make any one. We got a whole bunch of lists. Make them, put them against your screen. You're going to have to show a difference between black and white. That's how high your difference is going to have to be. There's even a slight little bump or comparison. They even have to come. Some people come there, but it doesn't match. It's a little. No. Night and day. If you walk outside at nighttime, you know it's not daytime, right? If you walk outside at daytime, you know it's not nighttime, right? That's what you need to do. That's how big the difference is going to be. Like I can take this product and I can stick it on my screen and I can step back over 18 feet and you can see this little white spot in the middle of my screen. That would be his screen paint. My screen would be a bright red. That's what you have to do. Night and day. Whew, I feel sorry for those of you that are going to be doing the experimenting, because I know some of you are going to be experimenting. You're going to be going like, I wonder if I put so and so and so. I guarantee you that anything you put in there and that black and white paint is going to match the screen. That's what's going to tick you off. Then you're going to be questioning and asking him about him doing the demonstration himself, and he's not going to do it. Then you're going to go into PayPal. You're going to file a complaint. That's what you're going to do. I know what you're going to do right from the door. You're going to go file a complaint through PayPal. And what's going to happen is you're going to lose it. Oh, he got your money. You ain't getting your money back. He got your money. You ain't getting it back. And I tell you why you're going to lose it. I've been with PayPal for over 12 years too. I know everything about PayPal from back to front. More than he does. You're not getting your money back. He has a policy on his website. That policy he has on his website, keep in mind, will stand any place in court. Paint will stand anywhere in court. You know why? You can't go to Home Depot and Lowe's and use an entire can of paint your house, and go back and say, hey, look, I want it so and so and so. Now, some stores may honor it, some stores may not. Now, our end, we have equal exchange on our site. Now, the reason why we put equal exchange, because we may have somebody that may come in and they may buy the product, and even though the product, like I said, does what it's supposed to do, they may be used to being on a lighter screen. So we will custom engineer something for them to basically fit what they like. Because over here, mind you, we make product within less than an hour. I can engineer anything that I want over here, and you watch me do it. I've done 3 screen paints in one day, and all 3 of them have beat all certified screens in one day. So we can do that over here, no problem. So we'll engineer something for them and we'll send them back. Now, what about the rest of the paint? Nah, keep it. It's yours. We don't need it. You're good. Just whatever you want to do with it. But here's some new stuff for here for you. Enjoy. We do that. We do that from time to time if we have a customer who doesn't like it. But on the other hand, with this individual, he can't do that because all his products all look the same. He can't engineer anything new. Ooh, that's freaky. Yeah, but he can't engineer anything new. He can't make anything else new. Anything he makes is still going to be the same thing because it's all black and white screen paint. All his product is black and white screen paint. There's nothing different about it, period. So you go in, you go file a complaint with PayPal saying not as described. One problem you're going to have. If it's past 180 days, you lost. That's how long you have before you can file a complaint, 180 days. Did you know that? Oh, we know that. Number 2, you're going to have to show that there's some kind of significant damage, discoloration, or whatever to the screen whatsoever. You ain't going to win that either. That's not going to happen at all. Because the fact that you should have filed a complaint when it first happened is paint. It ain't a car. Like a car, you're going to take a while to drive around before something breaks on it before you figure out that the car is pretty messed up to begin with. It takes a while. But that's something you just saw right from the door. That's like me buying red paint from Home Depot, and then I go to paint my wall with it, and I keep it for about a good maybe 6 months, and then I go file a complaint about it saying, oh, it's wrong color. Yeah, good luck with that one. Yeah, you're not getting over on that one. You just deal with it. That's all you can do is deal with it. Ain't no point in buying this if you already have this on your wall. It's going to do the same thing. So not buying it, but making it, because it's going to do the same thing. The only thing you could do is you can just change out the shade of the color. That's all you're going to be able to do. But other than that, you're still going to have to spend another extra $50 to make this, so you're stuck with it. All right, let me see what we're going to get here from here. We need to get another one from there. Because on this website, it doesn't say equal exchange. But that's between y'all and him. That's none of my business. Let's see. Oh, that invisible screen is hot, ain't it? That invisible screen is hot, ain't it? 4 contract offers today for that invisible technology. And we got a black one coming out under Phantom. Already got lined up for that one already. We got companies already asking about the black version of it already. That screen's hot, ain't it? That screen's amazing. All right, let's go over here and let's grab some ingredients for you guys. You're going to need some ingredients right now. I got to get back to work. I got to get these orders. There's some orders processed. Let's see what we got going on for the ingredients. Let me see. We need to go out. We need to come in here to grab this in management, to grab this for y'all. Yeah, they need to back it up. They both of them can't back it up. Don't purchase from them. At the end of the day, what you're gonna get? You're gonna give him. Matter of fact, you're gonna give him $85. Let's go over to your neighbor's house. Say, look, I want you to do me a favor. You got own cowboy boots? Like, yeah, I got a pair. Can you get those for me? And if you got a trampoline that can help, I'm gonna stand up on this ladder over here, and I'm gonna give you this $85. I want you to get a running start springboard. I want you to kick me right in the private area. So I'm gonna pay you to do it. That's pretty much what you just did. There you go. We need to record this for YouTube. No, it's good. It's my own personal private thing. That's what it is. That's basically about it. Now that's our demonstrations right there. These are all the test demonstrations here. No. This is the test. This is for the Digital1crystal screen paint. Yeah, these are from Europe, mind you. Partey, your product never had any contracts. None of this. This is all the stuff under Digital1crystal screen paint. Beta testers, the whole 9 yards. Contracts overseas. I forgot. I got to dig my old contract up again. I'm gonna print that thing out too. I forgot about that. This is the ingredients on how to make Digital1crystal screen paint. Right here, there's a tutorial video at the top that shows you how it's made. So if you don't understand this, we have a tutorial video showing you how to make it right there. All right, we're gonna put that one. Let me see, video management. Go to video management here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go over to live. I'm being live right now, right? Yeah. We'll pop in here real quick. Right there, we'll drop that right here for you all. I'm loving it. Boom, there you go. We'll activate that right now so you can get access to that right now. Because right now, you can't see it until I actually hit that button over there. This button right there. So now it's activated. You're welcome. And if you want to look up under Digital1crystal screen paint, you type in those keywords. You can watch the research on that company in the beta testers and the contracts that were underneath that product. That product had more weight by itself than Crow's product and Partey's combined together. Neither one of them had any form of Facebook page showing any company supporting their products. We had CEOs, the whole 9 yards, everybody celebrating. They had all kinds of parties and stuff. You can watch those pictures and all that on there of our product of Digital1crystal screen paint. Now we're giving you a product, the ingredients to a product right here that has more weight in their product. And at the fact at the end of the day, Crow will not review it. He's terrified. He's not going to review it. We're going to send him down 4 different shades. All right. Let's see where we got to go from here. Okay, we got all that right there. Now you need the other ingredients to make the other products. Let me see if I can go over here. We're going here. This one over here. No, right there. Over here. Right there. All right, let's go pop over here and let's find the rest of them. Let me see. It's one of these. We have all the ingredients locked in there. It's not that one. Wasn't that one. Definitely wasn't that one. Let me see. No, wait. We've been in the wrong section for this. We need to go in and copy and paste all this. So I was right there. What's one over here? Interesting, Barry. You were confusing me. All right, let's go over into the video management because I need to copy it from there. I think pretty sure it's probably in a live demonstration we did for that one. I told you, when I sat there and told you, look, things that he does when he avoids basically doing these things is he'll either try to go on one of his little vacations or he'll basically do some review against toys or some gaming or whatever that nonsense. So that's what he'll do to avoid it at all costs. But at the end of the day, it's just something you can't avoid. You're going to have to face this sooner or later. And the longer it takes for you to do this, the more your customers you will lose. Kind of like a bit of like, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I don't know how that would go. But anyway, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of your customers because the more and more that you avoid doing these particular tests, proving that your product is not black and white house paint, the more your customers are going to be coming over here, getting this product right here for free. And that's what's going to happen until you can back it up. The fact that we've asked you 8 to 9 times already is really bad already on your behalf. It's really bad on your behalf. Here we go. We got the whole shadaddle here. So in this one, we give you the ingredients for the Crystal Edge screen paint. We give it the do-it-yourself mix. Now you can go on here and you can watch this link right here. And this link, because we don't want people coming and going, oh, well, no. He made that off the top of his head. He didn't get that from him. There's the deleted video that y'all can't seem to find. That's it right there showing him making the product in his home. That's the same product we used to make all of these right here. He had 2 tablespoons in it, and it even says it right there in the video. In the video, it says right there how he made it. You know why that video was deleted so fast? Due to the fact that it matches all his products. We were able to make 3 of his screen paints, even a reversal, by just using that one video by itself. So you got the UV in here, you got the metallic mix, you got the personal, and then these are the darker mixes. These are the ones we made to put against our own screen. I would warn you not to make these. You will mess your screen up. You thought the UV was dark. These are darker than the UV. These were designed basically to put against our own screens. But if you want to dabble down that road, knock yourself out. I'll stick them in there anyway. Just from the door. But these are made for us to make for testing against them. We got more than that. Make sure we got all of them in there. Make sure we got all of them here. That's the final one. Okay, we'll get all these in here. There we go. Now, like I said, to be fair, all the ingredients that you're seeing here under the UV mix and different mixes we have, we did tell him, look, if I'm wrong on making these, all you have to do is get on YouTube live, make each one of these ingredients on camera and put them against your own product. That was a week ago when we requested that, and it still hasn't been done yet. So I don't know how testing your own products against your own products, I don't get how that works. Because at the end of the day, wouldn't the consumer still have to buy your products? So how would he know if your product is different from everyday black and white paint if you tested against your own product? All right, make sure we're on the same page with that one. All right, I'm going to put that one right here for you. Now, at the end of the day, those of you, I don't know, people who are into these kind of paints like this, you know what I mean? This is your thing right here. That's y'all. I'm not judging y'all. To us, we can't use this stuff. That's why we posted our ingredients up there, because we can't use it. It's obsolete. It's an old product. We don't make them anymore. But am I losing any money over this? No, I'm not losing any money over this. Did my orders slow down because we posted our this ingredients? Does it have anything to do with what we make? No, it does not at all, period. So at the end of the day, you still decide to buy his product. Hey, go ahead. That's no skin off my nose. It's not my $85 I'm losing at the end of the day. At least my product works over here. My customers get products that work over here. Not a problem at all. It's your money you're losing at the end of the day. So some people will buy because they'll say, I'm supporting you 100%. Those are the ones he's suspecting on. The ones that support him 100% and the ones that don't know any better. Anybody else? Well, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I was thinking about something too with Partey. You have quart containers. So quart containers here, you're doing up to a 120-inch screen. Yeah, these are 48s over here. 48s do 150 from the door. Just so you know. All right, let me see. Let me activate this for you. So you can have this right there. Activate. Now we already know the ones people, at the end of the day, I don't care about your hatred, because at the end of the day, these are people that are upset because he's outed. How hard would it have been able to out him? Honestly, at the end of the day, anybody would have came up there and you could have put bullseye, primer, anything together, and you would have matched the screen paint with no problem whatsoever. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. It's pretty much easy, self-explanatory, that you could basically just look at it and say, gee whiz, I wanted this will match primer, and just put it against primer, it would have matched. So it's not very hard to figure it out. It really isn't. And the fact that there's a video floating around showing him making the product, my goodness, like seriously? Can't be that dense. Honestly, really can't be that dense. We saved it, right? Here we did. How hard could it be to not see that? Right there. Ingredients is printed right there on the freaking YouTube video. We even told him to make this. Just make this product alone right here and match it against this product. It was never done. So anytime we get somebody coming in the room screaming and calling me a scammer, we just point them to this right here. You explain this to me right here. You explain to me why I got about a table load of mixes downstairs on my kitchen table that's matching his product. How I was able to do a reversal. That's a complete opposite screen paint. And we still landed it. Yesterday, I just threw paint together. You seen the Messy Mix 3.0? We call it the Messy Mix 3.0. Didn't even measure nothing. Just threw it in there and we still matched the screen. We just used this right here. This is all we used. This is a tutorial video. This is what we used. The only thing about Partey doesn't have a video like this floating around of him doing this. But at the end of the day, after watching a screen that wasn't black, after watching demonstrations that were cheated outside by pushing the zoom down on a projector, After seeing another customer run, there's a few customers that don't like him that actually did do that. They did take great products and put it against his paint, and it matched. That's why we requested for him to take his product, the last application for his screen paint, to take it down to Home Depot and get a match of it. Not only that, his wall in the environment where the screen is sitting at is matching almost close to a screen. About a couple of shades off, that's it. That's exactly how we made it on camera. Except we made one with 2, one with 3, one with 4. We did one with 5. We did 6, 7. We didn't do an 8 or a 9, which I need to do one of those too. So we made the product right there on camera. Except for in this one, we didn't do it with a Metallica mix. We matched it against a personal, which is even more damning right there from the door. Right in the kitchen and made it. There's the video. It's right in the link. You can watch it for yourself before you make the products. So if anyone comes up and says, oh, no, you made it off the top of your head. No, we didn't. We used his tutorial video. We used his own tutorial video to make those products. So you can't argue about that. What are you going to argue about? That's the same thing. The sad situation. You got to be able to back up everything you say. When I told you that, when I do something, I can back it up 100%. I tell you all this from the door. I can come and back it up. When someone says an order was canceled, keep in mind, anytime you order anything online from anybody, and say like you order from wishlist.com, you go to order a hat from them, and they don't have the hat in stock and they cancel your order, you get a receipt invoice back from their server, a document showing that this is the item that you ordered, the SKU number, whatever number you have up there, time and date, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And basically shows that your order was canceled. And that's what you received. That's the first document. Now, depending on who you made the charge with, if you made it through PayPal, because if their way of paying to their website is through PayPal, whether it be debit card or credit card, still it's going to be transferred through PayPal for that transaction. Then you would get one from PayPal. PayPal will send me back, say, hey, look, you received so-and-so amount of dollars back to your account, such and so. That's what you would have. So if Crow canceled from his website and we say, hey, look, he canceled, but I don't have any document showing that I actually made these purchases or even recorded myself making these purchases, then I have no proof that I made them at all. Then it's just basically me just talking a whole lot of trash, much like Partey did in his backyard. A grown man walking around with a camera. Think about that. Thinking that if I tell people he canceled, then people will believe it. The real world doesn't work that way, man. You're supposed to be a businessman and you don't know about an invoice, the 2 invoices that you were supposed to receive for any documentation showing that an order was canceled. You receive kind of receipt for that. Even when I void a label, the customer gets a label on our end saying your label has been voided, and they have to send them an email why it was voided. Even on our end, we get that documentation. So I don't know how in the world you came up with that ingenious idea right there. But I requested for you to show the documents, and you didn't show them. You just did another video doing the exact same thing. At the end of the day, it makes you a liar. So you're supposed to be a person with a business and a company that people are supposed to rely on and trust in. And here you are walking around in your backyard making fake accusations without any form of documentation to back it up. Then you're sending us emails with curse words and slurs and all that stuff in it. That does not look good. People will not do business with someone who carries himself in that way. Very unprofessional. People will boycott people for doing stuff like that. And you walk into a freaking I can't simply think of a restaurant we think of, whatever crazy. It would say McDonald's, and someone's in there cursing somebody out and calling them all kinds of names. You bit out about the manager. People, oh heck no, I ain't going to come in here. They'll boycott you for that. You have to carry yourself in a professional manner. Just like you're doing those memes and stuff like that, that doesn't help you out. It makes you look childish and immature. Why the heck would I slide my credit card and personal information over to someone who carries himself that way? Same thing I try to tell Crow, doing those Muppet memes and all that stuff. that may look, your group that supports you may support that, but in the business world, among people who have basic common sense and that know how to act like decent human beings, that's not acceptable. It makes you look bad when you react and act that way. Not good. So, man, you did more damage to yourself. I really don't have to do anything. You pretty much, you guys do it to yourselves. All I do is just post the dumb stuff you do and say, look, this is what we deal with. This is the dumb nonsense right here. And then we give you the opportunity. I sit there and say on camera, if I'm wrong in any way of making these products, feel free to duplicate the exact same video. They don't. They come back with insults toward me. That doesn't help you. Okay. Let me see. We got everything there for you guys. You're all good to go. Let me see. We got the ingredients there for you. There we go. I think we did post all that, right? Yeah, it's all there. Let's see what we need down here. We don't use the dis or dislikes. We can take care of that. Comments and say, how we put a hold on inappropriate comments. So if you send them over, it was disrespectful. It goes over to we have it set up where it goes over to YouTube for the legal department. So just so you know. All right. With that being said, it's up to you at the end of the day. My customers know what they get from us. We can back our product 100%. But to those of you that are purchasing these products, it's up to you. You can give them your $85 at the end of the day. It's no skin off my nose. I'm not losing anything over this. It's you losing this. Or you can just come in and get this ingredients right here for free. And then have a gallon of it. I don't know, paint something in you can't use it in the back. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Let me see if we're missing anything here on our end. Make sure we got all our stuff in here. Do we have our test demonstrations for our black screens in here done? Let me see ingredients right there. No, we don't have that in there. Let me go get that right there. We need that in there because I can't be in here telling people they gotta test their stuff and do their videos if I don't got mine in there. That doesn't even sound right, does it? That doesn't even sound right at all. Let me come out of here and let me grab mine right here. So make sure we got our tests up there too. I think we got them under. We got them under this one right here. There we go. These are my tests right here, showing my product tested under. This is some of them, not all of them. We got more than this. I'm planning to do a couple more. Actually, I'm planning to do a couple more paint on black versus black demonstrations on our products. I like doing those. You have no idea how much fun that is. When you can come out there and show your product actually works, man, I love it. Freaking love it. I'm not going to bother putting the information on buying our products from there. We got enough out there right there. We're good. We're good. We don't even have to put links in where you can buy our products from. We're good. Y'all know where to find us. We're good. Trust me. I got to get them orders out of the way for my company orders kick in because, man, that's going to be something else, boy. I'm telling you. I went through that the last time. That was a nightmare. All right, so I'm going to put that in here for you guys so you can see our test demonstrations because you need to see that. As a matter of fact, I need to get 2 more in there. We got some gunmetals in there and I'm supposed to be in there too. So let's go into this live right here. We got all this in here right here for you guys. At the very bottom here, I'm going to put them. Now, mind you, these are the screen paints we use to test. We made these live right here. I think I'm going to put these under this so that way I can keep this separated. Honestly, you don't want to put these on your screens. You will mess your screens up. These were strictly designed to basically go against our screens, and they are very, very dark. But if you want to go down that road, knock yourself out. It's up to you. These are our tests that we have. We made some of these live on camera so you can see them. Let me get the gunmetals too. We have gunmetal test demonstrations we've done. We even did a gunmetal test in the Max up room too. So let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, man, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Sorry about that. Let's see. Phantom. Okay, Phantom gunmetal. We're gonna put down the gunmetal. Let's see. Gunmetal black. Versus dark gray mixes. Now, mind you, when we made these dark gray mixes, they are dark. They're so dark. These things are darker than crow's paint. They are really, really dark. We had to make it a dark. They actually match our screen. When you do these tests, you have to get something that's going to match the screen. Now, let's just say custom color, which we do have with the reds. The reds and certain ones have custom colors. Yeah, something interesting with them. We can still try to make the same color because we've done that demonstration too. We have a screen that's red, one is coded, one is not. We did one with green, one was coded, one was not. You know, same thing. Let's see, versus, because we get the same thing. Well, if I just paint the screen with red wall, red paint, we got only have red paint. Won't you get the same thing? No, won't work the same way. Okay, let me see. Versus dark gray mix. That's ours. We call ours a formula, but we call the other products like the old ones mixes. Let's get those right there. We got two of them to put in this one right here. Yeah, I'll put them right there. Let's go grab them right there for you guys. All right, so this would be, let me see, let's go up to here real quick. Give her a test demonstration. So we'll put the green screen up too. We'll get the green screen. That was a good one too. That was an interesting one. Let's go to our videos, and right here, see that screen right there? That right there. See that mix, how dark that mix is you see in my hand? That is the customized dark gray paint we made to put against our own product. They show that there is no difference. No, they show there is a difference. Sorry about that. So here right there in the video. Well, let's give you a look to show you that both screens are exactly the same, because we don't want to put something you think that, oh man, maybe you made it lighter. Maybe you made the product lighter. Now, see, that's, I told you about that heightener technology we developed, you know what I mean? That allows us to drop that into any black product and allow it to heighten the white levels to see the screen see white light. There you go. So let's go over here and show you. That song was only stuck in my head. I was in there doing some Call of Duty and I was stuck in my head. Like, Ken, the freak is stuck in your head today. Got freaking Milli Vanilli stuck in my head. Been saying it the last couple of days. There. See that? See how they both match? That's what you have to do. That's what, now see, if we could do these tests, I don't know why you can't. That's what you have to do. I made that product live on camera. This is a black and white mix that we made real dark to match one of our screens, to show you at the end of the day that if somebody decided to make a black and white mix and try to compare and say, hey, look, we can make the same thing they can, you can't. You have to be to back that up. That's why we tell you that, look, you need to go out and get them bare silver screen or primer, whatever you got to get, and match, put multiple shades of black paint, and you need to do that demonstration live so all your customers can see if your product is either house paint or the real thing. That's what you have to do. And that's a gunmetal we did. Did it on the black screens to death. But you have to do those tests. Now, if I can come out here and do that test live, I don't know why you can't do it. Same thing with Partey. I don't know why you can't take your last ingredients out of that 4, because he has 4 in there. Take your last ingredients, the one, the final, the finisher, take that down to Home Depot or Lowe's, have an exact duplicate of that made, and match it against your product and show a difference. But y'all don't do that. So that lets me know at the end of the day, I could duplicate your stuff now. I can make your products and I can post your ingredients. But if you feel that you can make mine, as I said before, you've heard me say this before, make it. I'll copy down the ingredients. I'll put it against my own screen live. And then I'll return the favor. I'll make every last one of yours, and then I'll advance them and make them better than what they are. And I'll use them to beat the own screen. As a matter of fact, with Partey, I can make your product over again. I can actually re-engineer your product, make it a one-coat application, and I can make it so it actually produces better contrast, better color, the whole 9 yards. I drop that enhancer and stuff we have over here into that stuff, man. I would blow your own screen up with your own stuff and do it with one coat. No, you don't want to play with me. Leave long enough alone. You're going to have to do that. That's what you're going to have to do. Remember, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these are people that want to use us as a springboard. So, you know, we work hard, we do what we have to do over here, and they want to use us as a springboard to make themselves look good. Well, you open up that Pandora's box, and it comes with consequences. And when the consequences it comes with, if you haven't been doing your tests, then you're going to have to go through one of these nightmare tests that we have to go through. And if you avoid doing this test and we have to ask you to do this test over and over and over again, it clearly shows at the end of the day. If I ask you the first time to do this test and you don't do it, that automatically right there from the door is a complete fail on our end. It shows you right from the door, we know it's in your product that fast, that quick, because you can't back it up. Let's go over to, we're at here. We're going to put this one here at the bottom. This is where we're going to put it at. This is the first test we did. Not it's the second test we did. This is the one we did downstairs with all the lights. Let's go grab another one. And the other one we did upstairs. So let's grab that one too. Let's get that test right there for you guys. Oh, it's so stuck in my head. Good gracious, this is going to be in there for a while. This is all I'm hearing. Girl, you know it's true. It's stuck in my head. Where in the world did I just woke up in the morning with that one? There's right there, the red screen. A few people are looking at those red screens. We did a motorized paint on red screen right there on Facebook. This is the video right here, breaking down Crow's video. Boy, I've never seen. They're still breaking. You know, they're still breaking this video down in one of the forum sites. They're still breaking that thing down. Oh, there's so many mistakes in that one. And there, right there. There's another one. We requested again in another video. I requested you to do a demonstration right there. That's my product right there, the Phantom. Out there with all that ambient light hitting the screen with black paint in the center of it, producing a higher white level. We requested it there. That's us beating the yard master outside on an inflatable screen. This is us making another screen paint right here. Another tutorial making another screen paint. We made one black screen paint against our own product again. We got right here, final right there, coming on. This right here, this is one we made. We made in this video right here. This is one you'll see. And this one we made two black screen paints to go against our own screen, live on camera. That's the video right there. That's what we requested him to do. We requested him to do the exact same thing, but do it with gray. Never did it. Let me see what else we got down here. Right there, spread. Right there, more test done right there. Something right there outside again. But that's the green screen. Did the test on the green screen too. Where's that on here? The green screen. Is this the one right here we did with? No, that's the one with the 235.1. This one right here. Right here, green screen. We did on this one right here. That green screen. These are all the tests we did on black paint against our products. There's another one right there we did on our own product. There is the demonstration that Crow is supposed to be producing a black screen. I don't know what went on in that demonstration, honestly, to tell you the truth. That was so freaking confusing. I have no idea what was going on in this. That's black. I don't know what this is doing in there. I don't know why there's gray over in here. I don't know what's going on here. This demonstration was supposed to be simple and plain. It was supposed to be black screen paint versus black house paint. That's it. Half of the screen painted in black paint, the other half painted in his screen paint. Show both of the screen paints, showing both of them producing black levels, as in this is black, one's not gray, and then paint them side by side and do a white level demonstration only. No, complete smoke screen. But this is my demonstration of my black screen against black paint right there. Oh, we requested that. When did we request that? 3 weeks ago. We requested that 3 weeks ago. Look at that. 3 weeks ago. You were requested to do that test 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. That screen was 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, we requested for that black paint he claimed himself making of showing it side by side to see the screen was actually physically black and not gray. Because outside, when he showed the Starfield demonstration, the screen came up gray. 3 weeks ago. Have you ever seen any tests after that? No. Oh my goodness. That was 3 weeks? Yeah, it was what, 3 weeks ago. Here's our test on our products versus black paint 3 weeks ago. Timestamp 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. We did all those tests within that week against our own product. You see a screen right here? You see the color of that screen? That screen's gray. That's not a black screen. When a screen is black, they show up as black regardless. You can have anything against that screen will show up black. Here we go. That's where I wrote my name in the screen with black paint. Now, like I said, we could do these tests. I don't know why you can't do these tests. Why can't you do them? It's so easy. Give me another test right here we did. Another one right here we did. Another one right here we did versus black paint. I'm gonna say, let's just find that gunmetal real quick. I need that last one in there. Matter of fact, my gunmetal screen that I have downstairs, the Cinema Gamer, is darker than your black paint. It's darker than a UV. I don't know how you guys are passing these off as black screens. Let me see. Okay, we made that product just right there. That's the black screen. It's right around here we came up with the gunmetal test. I should have used the basement. We did the meter test. We should have used the basement instead. The basement has a lot of freaking light in it. Got that all stuck in my head. Good Christ, it's gonna be in there for a while. I know it's gonna be in there a while. We're doing some Call of Duty tonight too. All right, let me see. Other gray screen paints can't match yours. Projector mapping. That's projector mapping right there. A new final phantom gunmetal. Did we do this one right here? On this one right here? We did a black on this. We had a dual projector setup. All right, I'm going to find it's in here. I got to get back to work. But we'll find it. We'll put it in there because it has to be in there. But we already got the first one in there. And if not, I'll do it. If I can't find it, I'll do a couple more today and throw them in there. We do a couple of paint on demonstrations right from the door and throw them right from there. But I need to find that one to tell you the truth. See what I mean, Crow? When your screen is black, it's black. It's not gray. Even when the projector's not on it, they come up black. That's how we knew something was wrong. When we first saw that screen outside, I was like, that's a gray screen. And sure enough, when he displayed the screen, what color did it come up? It was gray. Even more damning, when he had the screen on a standalone right here, he had the screen sitting on a speaker. It didn't even match the speakers in the environment. Partey did the same thing too. We saw Partey's black screen. That screen came up gray. So if we take your screen and we put it side by side to ours, it's not going to match it. I don't know how much Elite wants for 150-inch tension screen because I need one for work. We need one for downstairs. That's going to be a pretty big screen to hang. But we got the room for it. But we need one. I think I might do that one in ultra short throw. I'm going to get me a cheap $200 projector. If I can get it cheaper than that, then that's what I'm using. But a cheap $200 projector, and I'm going to use that for my 150 display. Well, I'm going to spend the money for it. Screen paint's going to do all the work anyway, so who cares? I don't need to spend all that money for what? Oh, I got to finish the Pac-Man table. That's right. I'm working on the Pac-Man table today. I'm building me a customized Pac-Man table. There's my PC right here. Ugh. That's my micro PC right there on the floor. I'm going to reprogram that, rebuild that right there. Wait, let me shoot my keyboard off there. That's my micro PC right there. I'm building that right there. I'm going to put in all the retro Pac-Man games, all of them in there from Steam. I already ordered me a huge arcade stick. I'm making myself a tabletop Pac-Man table. I might use that with that black invisible technology we're working on next week. Get a piece of plexiglass and have the projector sitting underneath of it so I can have the image punching through. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Do me a customized table. Here we go. And people don't realize when you're watching a projection screen, right? A projection screen for when a projector is playing a movie or whatever for a split second, when it changes the frame rate, the screen goes back to the original form every single time. Every single time. Problem you have here is the fact that his product even is not even matching his speakers, and that's supposed to be a black screen paint. And it's not even matching the speakers. That's how we saw when we was looking at the Phoenix. Wasn't matching the speakers. It wasn't matching any of the speakers in the environment. That's why when I tell people, look, when someone's claiming to have a black screen, some of them are actually pretty good. Like the Dragonfly, I was staring at the Dragonfly. I was like, that screen looks black, but it's not. It's gunmetal. Because when I got a chance to talk to the person down there who actually designed the Dragonfly and asked him, I says, is that screen black or is it like a really dark gunmetal? And he said it was a dark gunmetal screen, but it's very, very dark. The best gunmetal screens that you can get are close. They have to be passable. They have to be very close to black, but they can't be black. But you're still going to have to maintain your white levels. That's why we showed up that technology with gunmetal versus gunmetal. We made our own put against the screen, and that screen went against 18 certifieds and pass and white levels. That screen ate the white levels up. Let me get on out here. I got things we got to do because I'm not going to go into this too much. But anyway, let's get back to this real quick. I'm off topic, and I can't be off topic. Well, like I said, come on, Taco Security Cat. Let's go downstairs. We got orders to do today. We got a busy day today. As I said before, there's no skin off my nose. I mean, look, you can buy this product for despite. Like, I'm going to buy it anyway because it's a throw it in your face, Kenneth. It's not my $85 at the end of the day. It's yours, not mine. So how would that be hurting me at the end of the day? Knock yourself out. I'm just showing you at the end of the day that if we told these individuals to go out here and back their products and they can't back their products on all the, and we can do ours, we can back our own products with no problem whatsoever, then at the end of the day, you're getting everyday house paint. That's what you're getting. Everyday house paint. As I told you, it's no skin off my nose. I got about 30 containers right now in my basement right now that we're processing for orders. This is what's left over from it. And it's still stacking today. So people know when a product works because they can go back and look at our many test demonstrations backing our products up on just about every level you can possibly think of. Even this product by itself, if you go to research it, has more weight than both of their products combined. And we're giving that for free. So until they go in and they back up their products as when we request it, they can take it down to Home Depot. They can get a color swap of it and do that demonstration. They can make the products live on camera with the ingredients we just posted. Or he can do a review against the Digital1crystal screen paint and all its 4 shades until they do it. And mind, that was weeks ago. Then at the end of the day, you're buying black and white paint unless they can back it up. Okay, that being said, I got to get back to work. I got orders to process for my customers. Just to let you know, we're going to be shipping out on Saturday. Friday, it's going to be the last day to put an order in. All right, got to go, and God bless.